As the effects of the development of artificial intelligence are beginning to be felt around this country and around the world, the debate surrounding whether or not AI is a general purpose technology or a revolutionary technology is going to become closer and closer to the public discourse. My name is Darren Lage, and in this video, I'm going to be shedding some light upon that debate, as well as offering my own personal solution as to what I believe AI to fall more closely under. Now, that being said, it is worth noting that this presentation is co-created by an artificial intelligence, specifically Claude by Anthropic. So periodically you will hear me reference some of the aid that Claude has given me in making this presentation. But let's start out by defining some of our terms here. Firstly, this one, general purpose technologies. Now, for the sake of the video, you all are going to hear me refer to these as GPTs, which is of course just shorthand for that longer term. But when I say that, I'm referring to these pervasive innovations that oftentimes have a variety of daily uses that change the way that we do work. Now, frequently, GPTs can be seen as a stepping stone of sorts because oftentimes they are innovations which lead to other innovations. Sometimes GPTs have a tendency to highlight societal inequalities when they're integrated into daily life, but ultimately these are innovations which are made with the design of making life easier. Some examples include electricity, motorized automobiles, and of course you can't have those without the wheel. When I asked Claude to generate some examples of AI functioning already as a GPT, it mentioned customer service being done by artificial intelligence through chatbots, predictive analytics being done for large businesses through artificial intelligence, amongst many more. On the flip side, though, not every innovation that is made with the idea of making work or life easier is automatically a GPT. For instance, something like vaccines, while making life nominally better for humanity, doesn't have a broad enough use to be considered a GPT. So a vaccine is a little bit too narrow to be considered a general purpose technology, and many others are as well. And on the other side of this debate, we have the contrasting term, which is revolutionary technologies. I'm going to refer to these sometimes as RTs in this video, but what revolutionary technologies are these periods of sweeping innovations that not only change the way that we do work, but change society as a whole. Now, because these technologies and innovations are oftentimes so vast, it's hard to contextualize them in terms of any single invention or one single piece of technology. Rather, they're often categorized as time periods. Now, Garfinkel, in one of the foundational articles in my works cited, only references two revolutionary technologies as having happened throughout history, those being one, the Neolithic Revolution, as well as the technologies that came from the Industrial Revolution. I also asked Claude to come up with some ways in which artificial intelligence could perform as a revolutionary technology, and notably it had a harder time doing so outside of the context that AI would be revolutionary because it displaces human jobs. A lot of what it was referencing referred to AI replacing customer service jobs and number processing jobs, but upon a bit more prompting, it also mentioned how AI could transform the medical industry, could help us with our environmental sustainability, as well as space exploration. So even though AI isn't capable of some revolutionary technology aspects just yet, that's not to say it never will be. So where do I think that artificial intelligence falls in this debate over GPTs or RTs? Well, I think it's already kind of clear, but I believe that artificial intelligence is more likely to be a general purpose technology than revolutionary technology. And amongst other things, I think that the main barriers that are preventing artificial intelligence from ascending to that level of an RT are legislation, narrowness of use, and the public's opinion of it. In recent days, we've actually seen a number of legislative barriers arise that are preventing artificial intelligence from ascending to the rank of a revolutionary technology. One of these barriers includes the state laws that are popping up, preventing these companies from using unfettered access to private data in order to train their artificial intelligence. There's also a number of recent state laws that are seeking to offset the unintended discriminatory consequences of artificial intelligence being used in the hiring process. There are also a number of more abstract examples, such as a proposed Arizona law that would prevent artificial intelligence from being used in the ballot process, as well as a North Dakota bill that officially recognizes that AI is not a person. What I'm getting at here, though, is that there are a number of legislative processes that are in place and will be in place that are preventing AI from ascending to revolutionary. I also just generally find it hard to believe that the public would continue to support and monetarily fund, much less a technology that is replacing their jobs. And a few similar conflicts have happened throughout history when GPTs and RTs have been introduced. One of the foremost, in my mind, being the Luddites of early 20th century England destroying the machines that took their jobs during the Industrial Revolution. And if an uprising that destructive occurred when an RT was introduced in the turn of the 20th century, I find it incredibly hard to believe that the public would accept a new revolutionary technology, especially when under fire from social media. I would also like to point out that when the public is talking about AI, what most of them would be afraid of is a checkmate scenario in which AI takes all of our jobs and we are no longer able to feasibly take them back. However, a few named researchers from Berkeley have concluded that while a checkmate scenario is possible, it's much more likely that AI will check us, essentially creating a challenge that we can recover from, or it will cause a stalemate. It won't affect our economics or our jobs at all. Right now, though, I think that the public will not let AI ascend to a revolutionary technology. And the final point that I'd like to make today is simply that AI has too narrow of a scope in order to be considered a revolutionary technology. Even though artificial intelligence will assuredly affect a few back office jobs, the population of people affected by such a change simply isn't enough to label it an RT. And many in this debate often forget that even though AI will displace a few jobs, it will also create many more in the process. An economic shakedown on that small a level simply isn't revolutionary. And right now, as it stands from a technological standpoint, artificial intelligence lacks the ability to do anything revolutionary otherwise. So just like a vaccine, it's a little bit too narrow to be considered an RT. I would like to end this discussion, though, by introducing the possibility that it's too early to tell. Out of the GPTs and RTs that I've mentioned in this video, many of their full effects have not been truly understood until several decades after the fact, sometimes even centuries. So who's to say that artificial intelligence won't have a similar story? Here are a few of the articles and sources that contributed to my thought process in making this video. Thank you for your time and have a great day.